Since reporting their Q4 and full year 2023 results, Enphase's share price has increased by a meaningful amount. What this tells me is that the market has received the report positively. In this video, let's take a closer look at the pros and the cons of what was reported. My name is Scott. Welcome to the channel. Let's talk Enphase. First things first, in an attempt to streamline manufacturing, Enphase has ceased operations at two of the manufacturing locations, Romania and Wisconsin. To add some context, production at these facilities started in Q1 of 2023 and Q2 of 2023 respectively. This goes to show just how quickly the demand situation has shifted throughout 2023. The Q4 revenue came in at $302.6 million versus guidance for $300 to $350 million. This is a quarter-over-quarter decrease of 45% and a year-over-year decrease of 58%. To zoom in, revenue in the US was down 35% quarter-over-quarter. Revenue in Europe was down 70% quarter-over-quarter. And international revenue as a whole is down 68% quarter-over-quarter to $64.5 million from $200.6 million. This is, according to Enphase management, the result of reduced shipments to manage high inventory along with a further softening in demand. To put this simply, these numbers are terrible, but let's give Enphase a benefit of the doubt and take a closer look at these reduced shipments. Over the past few quarters, Enphase's revenue has been particularly weak as a result of channel inventory reductions. In Q4, for example, CEO Badri Kothandaraman mentioned that there was a reduction of $147 million in channel inventory. For Q1, they are planning to undership by $130 million, and for Q2, they are planning to undership at a much reduced level compared to Q1. On top of that, Enphase is expecting the channel inventory to be normalized by the end of Q2. What we can do next is take these adjustments and reintroduce them to give us a look at how Enphase would be operating under normal levels. So for Q4, Enphase reported $303 million with a $147 million adjustment. For Q1, they are guiding for $260 to $300 million with a $130 million adjustment. Q2 has not been guided for, but management has mentioned that $450 to $500 million is what they're calling a normalized run rate, which is expected to return after Q2's reduced destocking. In other words, Q3. So for the two quarters that we don't have, for Q2, we'll use an intermediary of $355.5 million, and for Q4, we'll give a slight premium to Q3 and go with $505.5 million. Now that we have the revenue laid out, we can compare the past results paired with the Q1 guidance to give us a rough idea of what to expect in 2024 regarding battery shipments, gross margins, IRA benefits, operating expenses, and tax provision. Putting these figures all together, we can arrive at what we can expect for 2024 for revenue, gross profit, operating profit, pre-tax income, and ultimately, net income. At the time of recording, Enphase's market cap is right around $18 billion. Dividing that by Q4 2024's annualized net earnings of $116 million gives us a PE ratio of 38.79. This is a high PE ratio, but it's not outlandish for a growth company like Enphase. Well, a company that is generally growing, I should say, like Enphase. A company that's going to grow in the future, like Enphase, hopefully, well, probably will. So if Enphase has years of growth ahead of them, which I believe they do, a PE ratio of 35 to 40 isn't unreasonable, but keep in mind, this isn't reflective of the quarter that we're in. This is reflective of Q4, so 9 to 12 months from now. And also keep in mind, this is with the IRA credits intact. If we zoom into net income, then remove the IRA credits, Enphase's net income takes a meaningful haircut. Removing the IRA credits brings the net earnings from $116 million in Q4 down to $64 million, bringing the PE from 38 all the way up to 70. One of my primary concerns with Enphase is what could happen if these IRA credits are removed. Now, America has seen less turbulent socioeconomic conditions, and there is an election at the end of 2024. And regardless of who is going to be taking that position, if you're invested in a company whose net income heavily relies on credits that could be stripped away because somebody thinks that those credits shouldn't be there, that could be a very slippery slope. And as I just showed, it could be half of net income. That's not a little bit. That's not a little bit of supplementary assistance. That's a meaningful amount. And if the stock is going to be re-rated in a manner that would, in theory, cut it in half, that's not something to just brush under the rug and say, well, it'll never happen. A lot of things that will never happen. So I'm just saying there's a lot to consider. It seems like there is going to be a lot of disruption in the next year, a lot of turbulence, and it's probably better to be prepared for the turbulence than to not be prepared for the turbulence. With that, we'll call it political risk, with just the general high PE ratio. Again, I'm analyzing the company like a dinosaur, so if PE is not your cup of tea, I totally get it. But these are just a few things to think of, to consider as an Enphase investor. So long term, I'm not worried about Enphase. They are a leader in an industry with enormous potential. Short term, however, I could be wrong and I don't mind, but I think that Enphase might have a turbulent 2024. But judging by the share price, the market seems to disagree with me. So what am I missing? I'll pass it to you. Is Enphase priced fairly here? Is it overvalued, undervalued? I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you got value from the video, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Be sure to also check out the Patreon to view and download the valuation models that I referenced to make these videos here for you, including price targets that go all the way out to 2030. Thank you guys for the hangout. I'll see you in the next one. Have an awesome day.